Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. Today I want to show you the overall work that I did in the server. I tried to make it as realistic as possible. So the first thing that you can see is of course a code map. So people can speak the same language, is showed to both sides. And there is like MSRs, main supply routes that have a code name, main valleys that have a code name, of course the borderline, and a friendly outpost that you will see all of them. All the friendly outposts that you have depends on what sides you are, and of course there is some enemy location information that we have. So this is the 52nd ballistic missile base, this is the 114th, and now we have an enemy outpost and another enemy FOB here, but this is only the known locations, so it will vary. And there's going to be there is a much more locations that you cannot see right now in the intel map that we have, because I'm currently in the blue side, so I can see all my forces and only a few of known locations of enemy positions. And in the red side it's going to be exactly the same. They're going to have on only a few blue locations for that matter. And now I'm gonna try to attack the enemy outpost right here. I'm going to use the Apache, and I used a lot of current assets here just to try to include them to make it as realistic as possible, and the deployment and the coverage of the SAM sites and different type of units is also as realistic as I can put it. Sadly, I had to tone down the server a little bit just for performance, which I think is a huge issue that AD must address, so servers can be as realistic portrayed as possible by using assets. I'm not talking, and I don't think I went overboard with the amount of assets and whatever, but it's very much scenery oriented and correct, I should say doctrine oriented, the Russian doctrine and the Western doctrine of how to deploy SAM sites and type of coverage and air, what you will attribute to air defenses against ballistic missiles and stuff like that, because now finally we have a lot of ballistic missiles, so we can actually put some kind of a real life environment. And I can't wait for more of the current hill assets to be joined into the game, because then we're gonna also have probably the Shahed drones, which are gonna introduce drone warfare into DCS. So I'm pretty excited about this. And the server is up, you can play it. It's still work in progress. I'm gonna have shifting border lines once you capture airfields and whatnot, but basically it's all object oriented. You need to capture airfields and take out enemy positions and outposts and SAM sites and whatever, just to push as much as possible. So it's basically just destroy the enemy and push the front lines even further as far as you can get. So basically this is what it is. And we have different type of places here. Let me just show you. This is an air defense site on the blue side that I will show you in a minute, and this is an outpost. So let's take a look at the outpost. Actually, let's take a look at another one that is covering a little bit more area. Here we go. Lettuce outpost. Let's take a look at this and how it looks. Here it is. Let's take a look. So this is how an outpost looks. We got the air defense place, and we got the artillery base. In this case, we have an ATACMS, and you can control them. And this is the outpost itself. Now we need to be resupplied. It doesn't have supply trucks, so it needs to be resupplied by you. And I'm getting ready to introduce the logistical system in DCS. We partially have it now with the Chinooks, Hueys, and different type of cargo carrying aircraft, mostly helicopters at this point. But we're going to have the C-130, so airdrops will be possible as well. And I'm very excited about this, to have a C-130 flying around and just supplying all the front lines. So you can just imagine if you're flying a C-130 taking off from, let's say, Tbilisi here, and kind of flying all across the line while escorted by fighter jets to not get shot down and get ready to be engaged by SAM sites if they're not been dealt with yet. So you can one cargo crate drop for every frontline outpost or air defense location. And I think this is very exciting. I think this is awesome. And I'm pretty excited about the way it's going to look. Every base that you capture, I'm talking about airfield that you capture, also going to have to be resupplied. Now, some of them are conditioned with triggers, and you can see the supply routes that usually those jets will fly both on the red side and on the blue side. This is just the supply routes, and they will be triggered. So once I'm going to capture, let's say, Gudata right here, friendly C-17 escorted by 2 F-15s. Those are going to be AIs, but automatically start supplying this airbase. And it's going to be, I think, 3 supplies runs to a captured airfield to make sure it's, you know, perfectly stacked. The interesting thing about it is, let's say I captured me as blue, I captured Gudata. It will be supplied with Western ammunition and jets, right? If the enemy will recapture it or capture it after I capture it and a supply run has already been delivered there, they will have Western planes, which I think is very, very interesting concept just to introduce into like this dynamic type of warfare of engagement. You can basically seize the enemy assets. And if you want to stop the enemy assets logistical system, you can fly all the way here and try to strike those locations right here, which is the main supply logistics to the enemy. We have on both sides. This is the blue one right here. And if you can strike those, if you can get there, which is obviously possible. I think I have, I have a video with Mad Dog flying with the Strike Eagle and striking the enemy location all the way up here. It's a long flight. It's a dangerous flight. There's also naval assets. Obviously, the enemy has one as well right here. We cannot see it right now because we're on the blue side, but they have it right here. So you can just imagine what kind of a hit that will be to the enemy being hit like that, because the server is built in a way that there is limited resources on all the airfield, and they're, you know, it's time driven. So every, I don't know, hour or so, a delivery will go from that main logistic supplies to the airfields, or by the demand if they're gonna be on 20% of what, of 100% capacity of whatever it is supply that they need, if it's fuel, ammunitions, or jets. And not only that, I can show you something. Here, I'll just go to Krasnodar, which is an enemy airbase deep behind enemy lines, and you can try to get there if you wish. But if we'll take a look at the airfield, you will see something interesting. You see those planes that are waiting? Those are waiting for taskings. Those are AI. You see they're already armed, just waiting for tasking. Admin controlled. Some of them are trigger controlled. So if something happens, they will start their mission by, you know, whatever mission they will be. Those specifically, I think, are admin controlled. So they just, you know, activate them when they see the progression of the server requires it, or someone asks for it, if they ask for help, or the blue team needs to be well, you know, need to be challenged a little bit more. So in just one push of a button, they will be starting their mission. Well, they'll take off from here, and I can't remember the exact mission that they have, but they're gonna shoot cruise missiles at enemy positions, and then you will see the air defense systems are going off and all that type of stuff. But one of the most important things, it was very important for me to include, there is, in each team, there is 32 slots for you to take as a tactical commander to drive vehicles, or combined arms vehicle, and control ground units. I think this is very important. So basically everything that you see here can be moved and changed by your decision making. If you want to, I don't know, if you want to, let's say we captured, let's say Baslan, right? This airfield right here. We captured it. And we, you know, we got our logistics supply. A SAM site will be spawned here after it's been captured. It goes both ways, both for red and blue. If you capture airfield, you get somewhat of immediate air defense to, you know, protect that area. Once you capture it, and let's say you want to beef up your air defense, or it was taken out, you can just drive from the FOB. You can select whatever vehicle, and here there is a full IRST SAM site that you can drive and send there. And of course, you can supply there. Now, I would like to see, especially with the Chinook capability, that thing can lift a lot of stuff. It can lift trucks. It can lift the whole SAM site. And I would like to see it been implemented in DCS. Let's say, for example, NAMSAMs or NASAMs, whatever it's called, you know, the M120 SAM site. It can definitely lift those. It can definitely lift the trucks of the IRSTs as well. There's just a faster delivery system to wherever it is that you need. But of course, you can also drive it. And if that's not enough, you can, of course, drive tanks and just start an operation from that FOB, which I have done. Drive tanks all the way to Basland to capture it, because only ground units can capture airfields. There is triggers around that, so you can do it in multiple ways. You can cargo or ferry soldiers. There are special forces teams here waiting for you to pick them up with Chinooks or Hueys, whatever can take soldiers. Now you can even do it with trucks. So just take them and drop them off, and they will capture the airfield. They know their mission. You just need to drop them off somewhere in the vicinity, and they will do their job, charge the airfield, and capture it. Or you can do it by yourself, just driving and taking it for yourself. That goes to both sides. There's an enemy FOB here that we know of the location is, and let's just take a look at it, just because it's interesting. We know it's here, and there it is. This is an enemy FOB, and that's how. Well, it's kind of similar. I mean, there is like how the Eastern FOB will look like, and how a Western FOB will look like. You know, the type of walls and the type of arrangement of the field. But they got their own bunker to that's get resupplied by this main logistical site that I mentioned. They got a logistical hub here to lift cargo and take it into wherever it's needed, front lines, forward artillery bases and whatnot. All those vehicles that you can drive, including portable SAM sites and movable, drivable, whatever the word is, and tanks, a bunch of tanks, and the new current hill assets, which are amazing and looks awesome. So you can drive them. A bunch of places for the helicopters, of course, you can just spawn here. And those are the soldiers. They're just waiting to be picked up by you. You're selecting them by the name of their objective. This team, let's say, is designated to take over Basland. This team is designated to take over Nalchik, and so on and so forth. That there is 2 or 3 teams for each SAM site in case of a failed mission. So there's a limited time of times that you can try this mission. And of course, those teams, if you'll crash or do something stupid, they will be gone. So you can lose them by not even like actual failing the mission, being shut down or whatever, or them being engaged and destroyed once you get to the airfield. So there's that. It's a lot of it is around scenery and whatnot. It's the user experience is my main objective in this, while portraying as realistic as possible warfare. And by doing so, trying to, of course, as realistically as possible, portray the arrangement and the deployment of units. I think the code map is a big thing. I didn't see it in servers, but I just gave names to the villages of, just to kind of have a language. And this is very important right now, so you can have better communication with whoever flies on your side, just to designate targets. Especially now when you have a bunch of combined armed units, which mean people that can drive ground vehicles and be tactical commanders. This coordination is now getting a whole new aspect, and it's as realistic as it gets, in my opinion. And I can add a little bit more, but I didn't want to make the map too busy. And I know if you're going to zoom all the way out, it's going to look way too busy. But soon I'm gonna do this mission right here, and you see I'm just focusing on my area right here. I'm this Apache right here, gonna take off from the fob, try to take out this outpost right here, which is a challenging mission in of itself. It's not that far. I don't want to waste a lot of time, but we can definitely try to pull it off. And you know what? You actually gave me an idea. I might have released the slot, and we can take control over artillery element that we have here and kind of try to soften that target. So we can try to do that. Kind of preemptive, not preemptive strike, but just preparing the ground for us to strike. So we can try this. Okay. You see, it's not as busy when you zoomed out into your area of operations when it's something around this, so you can see friendly units and yourself and the name of the routes and the name of the valleys near you, and just kind of have a better coordination. All right, let me try to release the slot. and take the tactical commander slot. You see we have 32 for each side. Let's do that. So briefing, fly, here we go. We are in the tactical commander position. And let's try to control an asset to kind of soften the targets there. We got this. Oh, I forgot to put the outpost here invisible, but that's fine. I'll fix it. So you can take control of the units are there. It's an enemy. It's an air defense and attackums. I keep forgetting the name. We got one attackums here. I think he's already been engaged. He's engaging. Let's see. Yeah, he is. He's engaging targets. So let's let him be. Let's use one of those attackums right here. Stop fire. How do you do that? Hold. Fire, hold. Stop the mission. They're firing at something, I think. They are. Let me remove that. Remove target for that guy. They're shelling the enemy FOB. Let's try to take control over this guy. Stay in the vicinity of... am I not in the tactical commander slot? I am. Oh, good. Set that, let's give him a command just to shoot at this location, which is right here. Probably top one. Head target. Just shell that location. Unlimited. Let's give it a little bit of a radius of 50 feet. And let's see what happens. So you see I can just, and it's me by myself. I'll select at a time when the server is empty. Just so I can kind of show it to you. Here you go. We got the attackings element engaging that unit right now over there. And now let's release the slot. And go back to our Apache there. And let me do all my stuff here real quick. I'm armed and ready. I'm going to use those laser guided weapons. Let me just prepare myself here. It's going to be short. Put that on. I love the rockets, so I'm definitely going to use them. We're going to sneak up to that airfield. I haven't put a waypoint, which, by the way, I probably should have shown you. It's pretty easy. You can do. You can put yourself waypoints from the select role page, where you basically, before you get into the jet, you can put how many waypoints you'd like. Okay, we are good. Let's take care of George here. First, and in the Hellfire will be only one. You'll be fine. Okay, that's it. Yeah, everything is set for me. We are good to go. Just one thing. There it is. And let's take off. This is the, I can't remember the London FOB, whatever. I forget the names of what I gave him, but this is one of the FOBs close to the front line on the eastern side. There we go. Let's take off. And we're up. See, scenery was very important to me. I don't know if the attackers are shooting. So I really put a lot of effort on the scenery and how stuff are looking. Nice flight around the FOB here. It was very important to me. The user experience. And I think it looks cool. Got helicopters that are being repaired. This is our logistical, our bunker, which has been resupplied by our own logistical system. This is just scenery stuff. It's not an actual Patriot site. It's just cool, like drones and whatnot. And I'm going to add a lot of drones, by the way. A lot of drone warfare, both to help with intelligence. Oh, look at that. So this is the attack cams. This is the paladins. They are shooting right now. They're probably reloading or something, but they should shoot. Maybe I should wait for them to shoot. It might take a while, but why not? We have time, and in editing I can push through that. So I'll just wait for them to suppress the area. I'll show you how they shoot, and I'll just wait for that to happen. Okay, I had no patience for them to start shooting, and I thought the flight there is gonna be, you know, it's gonna take some time. It's not that far. It's on the top of the ridgeline right there. So hopefully they'll be finished loading up and start shooting once I'm gonna be on target, which is gonna be even better than just wait for them to shoot. Of course, I want every type of you know, firepower that I can get on target while I'm on target. So I'm gonna fly through that valley right there. I'm doing kind of a visual navigation. It's really hard to navigate, even though I have no waypoint, because we have that common language, right? Because I saw the name of the valley, I know where it is. It's pretty close to the FOB. As you see, it's not that far. With a helicopter, it's going to take a little bit longer, but with a fighter jet, of course, it's a matter of seconds. And by the way, one of the things that I am really proud of this, the realism of this server, you actually need to do the work. It's not gonna be shooting a harm and it's gonna get the SA6 site and that's it. Once some site is down, it's not gonna work for you. First of all, they are all the units on both sides are designed to be evasive to anti-radiation missiles. They got that option from the mission editor, just so they will shut off the radars every now and then once they've been detected. Once they detected they've been engaged by an anti-radiation missile. So this is one thing. The other thing is they got those new assets from Kernel, which are amazing. The Pansiers and all those type of guns and shore-red options that they're engaging those missiles now. And this is real life. It's not harm is not. It's a good missile, but it's not solving problems as much as you would assume, for example. So you're actually gonna need to choose your tactics and use some cluster bombs, use some Mavericks, use helicopters like I'm doing right now. Helicopters, this is one of the best capabilities that they can offer, which in my opinion can do it even better than jets sometimes, just because they can sneak through the valleys, fly really low, get really close to the target, and engage with high precision and really powerful weapons to destroy SAM sites. And I don't know if you guys are familiar, but I think one of the biggest stories of the Apaches that did the first major combat operations was during the Operation Desert Storm. They actually engaged radar installation, electricity installations, water installations, and early detection installations. Like imagine like, I don't know how many Apaches, it was a huge number that just lined up in front of whatever Iraqi positions it was and just start engaging at the same time to shock the enemy early warning detection systems. And you know, combine that with a Nighthawks, which we also have here. We also have here in the server Nighthawks that will do some operations. It's admin controlled or trigger controlled, depends about the situation, but there's Nighthawks actually going into deep strikes. It's kind of cool. So yeah, this is definitely the advantage that the Apache can offer. Yeah, it's not as cool to fly fast and low. Actually, I rather do that. I don't know. You're gonna see it once I'm gonna get into the mounts. There is something oddly beautiful with flying at high altitude between high mountains. So the combination of those heights of huge mountains and you flying fairly high in between those mountains, there's something about that, man. It's hard to explain, and that's a whole different experience in DCS in my opinion. It's for example, VR, it's insane in helicopters, and if you had the pleasure to try it, if you're a VR flyer that flies in DCS and you mostly do jets, I would highly recommend choose whatever helicopter you want. I would actually offer you to not go with a KF-50 for that example, just because of the the way they're operating, you know, the rudders and whatnot, just because the way most helicopters work with a rear rotor and all that stuff. Just try it. From the Huey to whatever helicopter you want, it's a whole different experience, and the amount of control and how you can navigate it, and the depth of the perception that you have with the depth of whatever is going on. You can navigate between trees much more easily than what I can do right now by using Track IR, and you can maneuver that thing and control that thing, and it's so good, it's so fun. And you know, it's close to the ground, explosions all around you, close to the ground forces, helping the maneuver warfare, and the amount of firepower that the thing can carry is just, in my opinion, unmatched. Attack helicopters. And I wish we're gonna get the Viper, which is the Cobra Echo or Zulu, preferably Zulu, which is one of my favorite helicopters in the world. It's it's a really cool one, but of course, Blackhawks and stuff like that, to even increase the capability of the support, logistical, and you know, moving soldiers from here and there. This is definitely a necessity now in DCS. But attack helicopters, man, it's a whole different experience. I think it deserves a sim just for itself. Like, you know, people that enjoy the Sims, just helicopter pilots that deserve their own slot. It's a whole different world, and I love it. It's very satisfying. Yeah, it takes some time to get to your position, but who cares, right? If you can enjoy the flight. You see, there's something about that type of flight that it's hard to explain if you're not experienced it. But to fly here above the valleys at a somewhat high altitude, you know, from the water, not from whatever, but it's, I don't know, man. I don't know. And especially with the Afghanistan map, I can't wait to retouch the Afghanistan map and make the mountains look even better, and you can fly between those huge ridge lines over there. Then you probably got to see a lot of real life flights over there, especially when they're supporting troops on the ground in those remote outposts. There's something about that. Well, I hope the attack cams will engage at some point. It's hard for me to see, but now I'm slowly scaling that mound, try to position myself in a position where I can observe the... Oh, look at that. See that? That's the enemy air defenses going off, which means the attack cams are shooting. That's great. It also shows me the exact location of the enemy outpost. That's what I was talking about, to make it as realistic as possible. Look at that. The enemy air defenses are going off. What they don't know is that they have a sneaky Apache going off. And by the way, here's the cool part about this server. Now they're wasting missiles, which means they're going to have to resupply. And there is no other players here. Let's see. It's me by myself. So there is no one to resupply that air defense site. They're just wasting missiles now. They're gonna need to be resupplied, which means they're not gonna, might not gonna have missiles to shoot at me. They do have AAA though, so we got that. Okay, let's select the get ready with there is some issues with George I noticed lately, but we'll see. He needs delay. Sometimes he's just not lasing, but we'll see. If not, I'm just gonna roll in with rockets, although the AAA there is insane. I'm gonna try to prioritize that. Okay, now we're scaling up the mountain. I don't see any more missiles going off. So the attack cams did its job. See how cool that is? Took me a little bit too long to scale that mountain, but this is fine. I thought I'm maybe gonna see some smoke trails, so I can somewhere around. Oh, there it is. Yeah, there's the smoke trails. I can see it. Okay, George. Wake up, buddy. Okay, we got one. Let's see if we can find it. It's hard to see. Oh, just peeking over the mountain. I'm gonna have to climb a little bit more. There's more SAM sites, so I can't do whatever I want here. I think I'm gonna move to that side. Try to use that saddle, if you see it, using the topography so the missile can go to shoot from low altitude like that. Let's see. See if it's gonna work for us. I can see the antenna over here of whatever it is. I think it's an SA-11 sight that we have here. Let's see if you can see a little bit more.
Lasers off. Deslaving.
Okay, yeah, SA-11. Oh, Panseer. We're definitely gonna start with a Panseer. I will, but you're not gonna. Oh, they are protected. Tracking SA-15. Okay, I'm getting shot at. Constraints, yeah. Whoa. Another missile. SA-15 is shooting me. But they definitely have missiles. They didn't waste all of them. I don't know. The missile did not hit, so this is good. But you see how crazy this is? This is no joke to try to attack those sites. I wonder if I can just slowly come up without being shot at.
SA-11, 8 o'clock, tracking.
Tracking? SA-11?
5 o'clock, searching. Radar. 6 o'clock, searching. SA-11, 10 o'clock.
Okay, slow down.
Missile, radar, forward.
Oh, another one.
Searching. Radar.
Defend. Ooh, right above. Hey,
Searching.
I don't think that was on me.
Missile, right.
I think they're shooting.
Radar.
It's air defenses. Yeah, look at that.
Radar. 1 o'clock, searching. Radar. 1 o'clock.
So the attackams are coming at him again.
2 o'clock, searching.
Yeah,
Radar.
that's perfect.
1 o'clock,
That's
searching.
perfect. Right on time. Let's see if we get any hits over there.
5 o'clock, searching. Fixed wing. 4 o'clock, searching. Radar. 6 o'clock, searching. Radar.
The SA-15 definitely shot at me though.
Radar. 6 o'clock, searching.
This is so stressful. I love it. This is how it is.
Radar.
Okay, here we go.
Searching. Radar.
Not too much.
Searching.
Do you think,
Radar.
George?
7 o'clock, searching. Radar. 7 o'clock.
What do you see? Oh, let's take out the main radar. We might be able to see that. Oh, a little bit less. You're not lasing. You are lasing the target. Okay, here we go. Let's try to hit it. Let's see what happens. I can see the
8 o'clock.
thing right here.
Searching.
Let's see if it works.
7 o'clock, searching. Radar. 10 o'clock, searching.
It's lasing really low.
9 o'clock.
That's why you need a human
9 o'clock.
over there.
SA-15. 11 o'clock. Missile tracking. SA-15.
Ooh,
11
yeah,
o'clock.
really low.
Radar.
Oh, that missile is towards me. Whoa! Yep. That's what it is. Yeah. So you see, I put the FOBs like that protected, and it's realistic, and you're just gonna have to deal with it. I think this is fair. And yeah, the AI will not, he sees through that, and he's lasing through the mount. So that's an issue with the with George AI for this example. You can definitely pull it off. I just need to play with the angles, maneuver a little bit, but there is more SAM size to the rear, and they're kind of covering each other, so you don't want to be all too exposed over the target. But you see, he can't shoot at you as well. That's except for the Panseer. He needs somewhat of an elevation, because in order to be protected, he also needs to be somewhat in cover, which also restricts a little bit of his angles to engage you. Which I think it's fair. I think it's totally fair, and it's totally challenging, and it's fun. And of course, with a human in place of George, I would be able to do much more damage to take out the snowdrift, because we saw that dome spinning, and I think I even saw that of that Panseer, and to hit it will be enough. That will work, but of course George cannot do that. He just, centers on the target, so he just lays somewhere in the ground for this matter. But yeah, I think this is cool. I think this is a well done survey. It took me a lot of days to put all the work into it, a lot of effort, and to be honest with you, I have somewhat of a passion to that, to provide that experience to the user, and as realistic as possible. Yeah, that's my helicopter crashed there with the engine still on, so try that again at some other time. Definitely be better with a human. The last thing that I wanted to show you guys is that the fight is ongoing. So AI units are fighting in between themselves. I'm trying to balance that out. Of course, it's a heavy toll on the server. But as you can hear, artillery is falling, and we got tanks. There we go. See, those tanks are shooting at enemy locations, and of course, there's enemies that are also shooting. Let's see if I can spot them. There should be. There they are. You see, those are the enemy units. There's clashes here at Gudata between the two sides of the airfields, and this is just one example. I can show you one more, which is next to Nelchik, right here. Here we go. We got units also engaged in combat here, trying to take over the airfield. So they're shooting at each other. Those units, well, they're not shooting right now. I don't know. They will. Across the bridge. There's a bridge here, and they're just shooting at each other. Kinda. Sometimes they're hitting, sometimes they don't. Mostly they don't. That's why they're gonna need your help, because they're all kind of pinned down by each other. They're trying to somewhat protect the airfield, but have not captured it yet. The airfield is neutral here at the city of Nelchik, and they're trying obviously to capture it. Why is this important? Because, you know, it's a major hub here. Just in the opening, and it will connect if blue will capture Nelchik. That will connect, basically can connect the border control with this small protrusion here, and that protrusion is also in risk of being totally be taken by the red side and kind of connect the line here and take a lot of land. So all red is needed to do is capture Nelchik, destroy that unit. If they'll destroy the unit, Nelchik will be captured, or physically capture it by going there, taking a team of soldiers there or a vehicle to get into the air dome, and destroy this Alex Ford artillery base. Once they take it, no blue presence will be here. They'll be able to connect that line and have an established line, and from that point the push will just be more severe, because then this lettuce outpost will be right on the front lines. I mean, it's kind of is right now, but it's gonna be hammered by the front lines and will be at risk, and the sabred air defense site also will be at risk. And one push leads to another, and once they're gonna get into the Mowgli MSR here, they're basically kind of have most of the control. And now all the airfields that are around here, Kutaisi and Seneki Kolki, are going to be at risk, including the 51st Air Defense site, which is going to be, I'll say it's going to be drone operations and stuff like that. And I'm going to start introducing a lot of drone warfare. I'm trying to take it into modern times, that server, as much as possible. Currently, Current Hill assets are definitely one of the major stuff that are helping to push DCS into modern times. They're releasing it in patches, so you get one patch of it's not enough. We're gonna need all of it in the game. I don't appreciate the releasing of assets like that, because there's a lot of assets that he has that can get rid of old assets. For example, now the fact that we have the TU-95, I think they removed it. They removed the other TU-95 that was TU-95 that was on the right side, which just did not look good and stuff like that. But in order to understand what it is that we need in the game and what can be improved, I think they need to include all of Current Hill assets as fast as possible into the game, and from that point on, we can see what it is that can be done with the game to take it even into more modern times, and for him to include more countries and stuff like that and capabilities. Drone warfare is definitely something that I would like to see implemented in DCS. Currently assets are kind of enough to introduce us into the world, but of course there is a lot more to be done. And when talking about drone warfare, I'm not talking about those killer drones those Shahed drones that fly and detonate on the target, or the what's it called? You know, the big drones that can reconnaissance and shoot missiles. I'm also talking about the small drones, which I think, if included in DCS, that will be really, really interesting. But what I would like to see eventually is drone control sites, where we as players can control drones, all type of them, and, you know, basically manipulate the battlefield by using them. And it starts from those, you know, DJI drones, those small ones, drones, the quadcopters, as they used to be called back in the day, attached even with the fiber optics, so no jamming or whatever, or is, and they can just drop bombs and projectiles on enemy targets, locations, units, assets, whatever, including, like, you know, detonate on them, like the, you know, the killer drones that physically hit you and explode. And also, I don't know if you guys saw it, but they're being used against helicopters as well. So you got those, and also like big drones. I would like to operate a Predator. I don't know what's it's an issue now. I would like to operate it. I would like to sit here, let's say, in an airfield with in a place that it's an asset that we put, and you like have the screens and whatnot, and you can control it, and you can land it, take off, of course, shoot, rearm, but more control over drones, I think, will be great, because right now, using them as AI, you know, they can do basic stuff, and their reaction is not always as good or realistic, and their detection range it's slightly off. It's good, but it's slightly off, and they're somewhat limited with their capabilities. They will orbit around an airfield and air defenses, then, you know, they just get shut down, or not. But it depends, of course, and the situation. And I don't like this dependence. I would like to be more independent by controlling my assets and whatnot. And I think this is important. And to give the experience to players to do whatever it is that they want in the server. I want this to be as dynamic as possible. Not necessarily by the scripting and the capabilities of the game. I think it can be dynamic as possible just by giving the opportunity to players to make it as dynamic as possible. And then all what left on my side is to make that dynamic shifts appear on the map by, you know, different markers in the map. Like, look, you pushed the borderline, so the borderline have moved from here to there, which I'm going to do. I can do it right now. It's a little bit of work, but it's not that much, so I'm going to do that, just so you can see your progress and your push and whatnot. And of course, there is the option also to save the progress and move on from there. I don't want that necessarily. I like a 4-hour session, which is the current way that this server is set up. Is a 4-hour session, and whatever you achieve, and after 4 hours it will reset. I would like your advice on that, if it's something that you would like or not. I kind of like it. Because it gives, like, you know, opportunity to everyone to try something else, and what you can do in 4 hours I think is more than enough. And you can definitely try to stretch it and try to do the craziest mission. Last session we tried to hit the 50-second ballistic missile base, which is well, good luck. Getting there is one thing, which is doable, but to successfully strike that target, and I'm talking about and just to kind of show you what I'm talking about. So here we go. It's a legitimate, realistic target. It's a missile base. It's not, you know, one unit. It's a bunch of bunkers. It's a small type FOBs with air defenses. They are protected by air defenses. There's a lot of AAA spread all across that valley, and of course the beautiful Iskander missiles waiting for a player to control them and shoot, and whatever he like to shoot. But this is a ballistic missile base, and this is no joke, and they're all spread out, ready to already deployed, which is the only unrealistic thing I did. If I could have, I would have put them in those bunkers or in underground bunkers waiting, and it's going to be a hard, like, it requires a different type of ammunition to strike them in order to penetrate a bunker or the ground, which I wish it was an option in DCS, like to use the actual ground to put stuff inside, and tunnels and whatnot, and whatever. And it's also protected by a very dangerous SEM site that last time we tried it, I got tracked right in the face by an SA-15. A missile literally flew right into my cockpit. To get here is one thing. To achieve a good hit on that target is another. And if you can like imagine what we know that happens in a real world with real strikes like that, you can somewhat take part in the challenge of that, which I think is fascinating. Like, it's not, you can't just fly, hit one target, mission successful, and go. No, it's a whole base, it's a whole different assets, and it's a whole capability that you need to take away from the enemy. And by focusing your energy or your capability on what you decide is the most important to take away that capability of the enemy, it's awesome. And you can use cruise missiles to do that. You can use whatever it is that you want to do that. And I'm going to include a lot more. I want some Tomahawk from the sea being shot at. If requesting for help and whatnot, they're going to have like designated targets and stuff like that and whatever. I think it's amazing. And by the way, just to kind of show what I'm talking about, there is also a very big enemy base, which I'll be able to find. But there is, so the Russian doctrine is kind of like that. There is missile bases there. They're somewhat designated, but they're also combined with, air defenses and whatnot. It's basically the basics of Russian doctrine. So you got those. By the way, there is more. This is only one of them. There's the 114th, and there is another that has not been shown. Right? Yes. I think. Maybe. I'm not sure now where it is. Yeah, I think there is another one that is not being shown. Let me try to find one of them because it's not marked, but there is enemy. Oh, there is one. Well, it's a small one right here. It's a small one, but this is a missile base. This is a naval missile base right here, for example. Look at that. And by the way, interesting thing about that. Oh, it's not that base. It's another one. But it's I took like satellite images from real life, and I found like S-300 sites and stuff like that. Actually been deployed in the region next to Sochi and places like that, and I kind of remake that as the same as they've been deployed. I put some helipads here. I don't know why. They don't need to be resupplied because they have that bunker. They're being resupplied by sea or whatever. Just for fun. This is an S300 site. And by the way, S300 is a little bit outdated. And if they're going to include current assets, we're going to have the S350, which is better, more modular, a lot more missiles on one launcher. It depends on different type of missiles. And I would like to see that implemented as fast as possible, just to kind of take the game but into the limit. And it's not the only thing. If you're going to include that, they obviously going to include the new Patriot, which is much more capable missile. And that is actually designed to be air defense, both from ballistic strikes and drones and whatnot, and also to engage jets. Because right now, if you're looking at a Patriot site, it's the old one from the early 80s, 90s, maybe the updated version, but it's the same still concept. Only 4 missiles on the launcher, big missiles, go long range, and it's not for rapid fire and not for fast flight and stuff like as fast as the new Patriot missile that I hope will be included as soon as possible from currently assets. Anyway, it became like a whole introduction and discussion about DCS, but it was really important for me to get to show it to you guys. I think I have something here. I definitely need the help of Eagle Dynamics to try to make the game more smooth so I can include everything that I want to include. And I'm telling you, I'm not going overboard. It's not insane. I don't have an insane amount of units here. It's just enough. It's realistic, and I think it's a necessity for the game to be able to carry that without giving us hard times in public sessions and public servers. It will run smooth for me as a 1 player here with all its capabilities. Maybe for 2 players, maybe for 3. But once we're talking about 6 and above players, the servers start lagging and stuff like that. And it's not internet connection. It's already been tested. It's CPU usage and RAM usage and stuff like that. And I think the game definitely needs to be optimized so it can do that kind of stuff, so you can actually see war. And there is no way, when talking about combat simulator, to not include all those aspects in. It cannot be only for dogfights. It cannot be only for aerial combat. If you want to go the realistic way to portray that kind of stuff, and if this is the objective, then remove combined arms and remove all the ground assets and just have them as a targets for us to engage so they can do their own thing. There's no need to put effort on them so we can control them. You know what I mean? If you go in the route of strategical kind of warfare, then yeah, definitely a work needed to be done. Because I think this server right here represents real life to the best of my ability, at least. And if that's not working well, it's not me on this one. I swear, it's not me. I think it's the game that needed to be fixed. I did multiple testing and stress tests and everything, and it's right on the limit of, it's just, I didn't went crazy. I didn't throw like huge amount of units. It's just realistic. It's enough. It's all, coverage of each other and run. Anyway, yeah, I'm talking way too much on that thing. I don't want to share my frustration about that subject because I feel like we are really missing out. It's with DCS. It's just, I think they just need to take the time, do an overhaul of this game, put it into the modern times with the new graphic engines and whatever needs to be. Just stop all development. Just put us in the modern era of gaming, and from that, just do whatever you want, right? Because right now, adding more stuff to the game, more assets, more textures, more, it's just, it's too much. It's too much. The game cannot handle that. It's the engine is old, and it's gonna be broken. And by adding more stuff into the game before you're gonna do this overall for the graphical engine of the game, you're just creating more work down the line, and it's unavoidable. The point that they're gonna have to update the graphic engine, it's unavoidable, right? It's the longer we go, the more out of date it goes and less compatible with modern systems. And we don't want to get to the point where it's been basically shut down. Like, that's it, no compatibility for DCS because it's so old with its capabilities and graphical engines and whatnot that nothing is supporting it anymore. It's not getting any updates and stuff like that. And it definitely can happen. I mean, who knows? Now with quantum computing and new graphic engines that are coming into light and different and AI, don't even get me started on this, but it's, I don't want to get to the point where the thing has to be shut down until they're gonna sit down, fix the game overall, and then we can move on. Anyway, I would really like to see you guys try it. The more players, obviously, the more stress are going to be on the servers. So if you're seeing anything, just let me know, and I'll tone it down until we get a DCS fixed, so most of you guys can play. But the last thing I want to say about the server, that even though it's realistic as possible from my end, for the work that I did, I still think it's friendly for newcomers. I do. You can definitely do your own thing. You can focus on one target and try to do that. Let's do seed on that SAM site, the least protected one, where I will not be engaged from multiple directions at once. I don't know, just fly an A10, or if you're new to the Strike Eagle, for example, you can be focused on just a strike deep behind enemy lines, focus only on that, be undetectable, try to strike and bring some of achievement to your team and whatnot. And if you want the more intense stuff, yeah, you can go to the hot zones, as we tend to see them here, which is the fights over the east and west here in the the airfield, where you most likely find more players. But if you fly in the mountains here, you'll see players try to deal with that with that line, to penetrate it by dealing with the either sneaking in the valleys or try to deal with the SAM site. So it's kind of fun. It's very, very realistic with the way you meet other players. I've noticed. It's interesting. Wow, that was way too long of me talking. So I'm sorry about that, but I'm kind of sharing my passion here. And yeah, there's a lot of things that I wanted to say in order for you guys to kind of take part. And I would love to hear your comments and feedback about the server. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Sadly, I failed in the mission with the Apache, so it was very anticlimactic. But, you know, that's the reality of playing in my public server. So everyone that want to join, please join the Discord as well, because over there we're coordinating, we're talking to each other. We have a weekly event, by the way, which I forgot to mention. It's very important. We have a weekly event every weekend. Saturday, we're playing together. All the details are in my Discord, in the events over there at the time and everything. And it's very, very fun. We're having fun. You know, we're playing it for fun. We're not hardcore simmers. The realistic environment, I think it's enough for everyone to have fun. How you deal in that environment, if you want to take it to the realistic level and talk, you know, with correct communications and whatnot, you definitely now have the platforms to do that, especially with the code map here and stuff like that, and using SRS and only code tones and only code words and whatever. Yeah, have at it, man. It's not my how do you say it, my cup of tea, I guess, from friends across the pond. It's not my cup of tea necessarily. Maybe sometimes I would like, but you know, I like to have fun, and it's definitely can offer both for everyone who wants to have fun. Just take it easy, fly around, try to do the mission. And this is the good thing that I'm really proud of, that for the hardcore simmers that want the most realism with their adventure here, and the guys that are just came to have fun, they're both working to the same goal. So even though they're not necessarily want to experience the same experience, but what they're inputting into that experience, they're not conflicting, you know, which I get to see a lot in other servers, especially around aerial warfare, that people just want to fly and kill as much as possible and kind of go back. They're not supporting each other, they just want to get the kills, you know what I mean? So there's that. Here, even if you want to do that, you're still supporting the main mission. You just need to apply. You don't need, actually, but if you want to be a hardcore simmer, you can just apply yourself to whatever scenario you want to be involved in. I think it's very dynamic, especially for players. Oh my god, man, I'm talking way too much. Yeah, there's a lot of passion behind that project. I spent 6 days just working on that thing. So sorry for wasting your time. I hope you get to enjoy the server as soon as possible. I hope it will get smooth as soon as possible. This is ED job, to make it as smooth as possible and not going overboard with the CPU usage and whatnot. So I hope we can share this experience together. I hope to see you on the weekends while we're flying together and having some fun. That's it. Enjoy. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys later.